Hello lovely humans and welcome to my channel. My name is Marissa Renee and this is Dream Witch. This is a channel where I will be doing weekly pick a card videos as well as additional content. Today we're going to be focusing on the question, what is it that you've forgotten about yourself and what is it that you need to remember most right now? So I have three options for the piles. Pile number one, this beautiful rose quartz, and the Animal Spirit Guidebook from the Wild Unknown. Pile number two, we have this Celestial Himalayan Quartz and the Steven Universe Major Arcana Tarot. And for the third pile, we have this Celestial Phantom Amethyst. And the Tarot of a Moon Garden. So I'll go ahead and give you a closer look at the piles. Take your time, pause if you need to, and make your decision. If you feel called to more than one pile, by all means, do so. Yeah, I'll see you in your reading. Okay, pile number one, if you chose the Rose Quartz and the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook, then this is your reading. I'm so glad that you made it here today. Okay, so to start, we're going to go with three cards from the Animal Spirit Guidebook and say, right away, the bear in reverse. We're asking the question, what is it that you've forgotten about yourself that you need to remember right now? Just check to make sure my camera's still recording. I tried to record last night. I was up super late and my camera only took about 15 minutes of video. So doing it again, round two, happy to be here. Okay, two more cards from the Animal Spirit Guidebook for pile number one. What have they forgotten that they need to remember most right now? Okay, got another one. The Earthworm, also in reverse. So already two cards with Earth energy. Might be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or have those placements in your chart. Or maybe you're just needing to be more grounded right now. And the last card is the Shark in reverse. Wow, all cards in reverse. Already I'm getting a feeling of some kind of underlying insecurity. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Panther. Ooh, this makes me feel like you need to remember your ferocity and your power. And underneath the Panther is the Dragon, which is all about power. Okay, let's go ahead and read from the book. These have such beautiful, detailed descriptions that I want to give you a chance to hear directly what they have to say. So the bear. Got that in reverse. Waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move towards the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes and the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When in balance, you have inner strength and a yearning to grow. When you're out of balance, you feel symptoms of withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. To bring into balance, you need movement and exercise. Yeah, I think you're needing a change. I think you've been stuck. It feels like you've been stuck hiding yourself for a long time. Stuck being down on yourself, not believing in yourself, being really self-critical. Basically being your own worst critic is what I'm getting the feeling of. A lot of throat chakra energy. Maybe that's one that you've been working on or need to work on more. Definitely a sensation of it having been blocked, like you're afraid to stand up for yourself, you're afraid to voice your true opinions, and maybe even like speak as your authentic self. So the second card you have is the Earthworm. Shy, hesitant. My throat like blocked up when I said the word shy. Yeah, you're like afraid to be, you have the fear of being seen, which is something I'm feeling called to share, that is something that I've dealt with, fear of being seen. I guess any advice that I would have for that is remember that it's okay and it's safe to be seen. No one's out to get you unless you go in with that mentality. So the Earthworm, shy, hesitant, reluctant to share inner vision. We have all felt the woes of the Earthworm at some point along the way. The Earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember they once felt Earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time, and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights. Yeah, it really feels like you're trying to have a new beginning. I think that's what the bear card said, spiritual new beginning. Yeah, beginning anew, waking from spiritual slumber. But you're still scared to show yourself. You're still scared to share your vision, your opinions, and your gifts or your wisdom. So when you're in balance, you're earnest, intelligent, and valuable. When out of balance, self-conscious and apprehensive. To bring into balance, speak up and risk embarrassment. Yeah, it's okay to be embarrassed. Like, moments come and moments go. Nothing lasts forever. And with that, I kind of want to do allow time to pass, and embarrassment will pass with it. So then next we have shark. There we go. The shark. Directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desire. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes over us when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when shark energy is at play, we feel its presence encircling us. When in balance, you're intriguing, captivating, and mysterious. When out of balance, you can be sneaky or destructive. To bring into balance, practice honesty. Yeah, I think it's a matter of practicing self-honesty. I think this has to do with really standing in your power and owning your voice. And it really feels like you have a hesitation and a fear to do that, but under the surface, this power is like begging, and it feels like ferocious and wild and ready to be set free. And you have all of this energy lurking inside of you that's ready to be unleashed, but I feel like it's the ego self or these subconscious fears that you've accumulated over time, or that you've been programmed with, or maybe even it has to do with something that you received from a past lifetime. I really feel like for some of you it is. It is to do with a wound you received in a past lifetime. It could have to do with a witch wound, if that's something that speaks to you. Just from these two cards together, it really feels like you were a really strong individual in the past life who knew your power, but you were silenced in some way. I want to go ahead and read for those two cards so you can get a taste of what your power is saying to you. If you see me keep checking my camera, I just really want to make sure it doesn't stop recording on me again. Okay. Panther, annihilation of the unnecessary, purging. The panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When in balance, you're brave and productive. When out of balance, you're self-destructive. To bring into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. Yeah, I think you need to get rid of these unnecessary limiting beliefs that you have to be afraid, you have to hide yourself, that it's not safe to be seen for who you truly are. Maybe that you're not allowed to change, or that if people see you changing, they're going to be like, oh, well, that's the new you isn't really you. I know who you are. I've seen this, blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to that inner critic that's telling you that. Because your truest self knows what you deserve and knows who you are and knows what you're worthy of. And when you feel those things, it says you're brave and you're productive. But when you're out of balance, you're self-destructive. And in this case, the self-destruction is making yourself small. Don't make yourself small. You're big. You're dragon big. So let's go ahead and read from that. Dragon. Seeing one's most true self. Balancing the ego. Oh, that's so perfect. I love it. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us to surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes sees beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Anyi is dim. Anyi is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. Beautiful flame that is being reignited inside of you. I feel like you've been sleeping on yourself for a long time, and it's time to wake up. It's time for you to embody who you really are and who you've always been on the inside. So the dragon and the third chakra. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe the health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. So this is your third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, which has to do with confidence and inner wealth, which is so perfect because it's like that whole belief that dragons love money, dragons love wealth. I think you're starting to revive that in yourself. You're starting to really seek out abundance in your life, or desire abundance in your life, desire self-confidence in your life, and desire that inner wealth that can be ignited from within. I really feel like you've been denying yourself that, and it's time to let that go. It's time to remember who you really are, and it's time to remember your worth, and that you're worth more than the small version you've created of yourself in order to feel safe. It's okay to let go of the past. It's okay to let go of those versions of yourself. Actually, I'm going to give you... I'm trying to decide which cards to give you next. Let's do some tarot. So, Tarot of the Moon Garden. Let's get a little bit more details about what's going on. Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Yeah. New opportunities and wealth and abundance and reaching out to grasp it and starting something new. It's like this is the first time you're really fully stepping into your power and your confidence, and it feels like such a big gift. It feels like so much to hold, but you're worthy of it. Let's get a little bit more. Number one. Ooh. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's time to let the past be in the past. You still have light inside of you, but so long as you're focusing on the things that you've lost, you're not going to be able to fully accept the things that you do have. So it's really time to let the past be in the past and move towards something new. Move towards the future. Move towards your present moment. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're growing something. This came out in reverse though, so it's like it's still in the process of being born. You're working on it though. You're really working on your confidence. And it really feels like you're trying really hard, but it's been a difficult journey for you. Just keep going. Have faith in yourself. And that will make the journey happen a lot faster the sooner that you're able to have a little more confidence in the fact that you're making moves on it. You're working on it. You're not doing nothing. It just takes time to grow. It just takes time to grow. Yeah, and then the 10 of Staffs at the end. That's what you're going towards, is fulfillment. Fulfillment. And coming out of burdens, coming out of heaviness. Ooh, I just split the deck and got Judgment. Yeah, you're being released from something that's been holding you back. That's wonderful. I want to get a couple of these calm cards for you. These have really interesting inspirational quotes and little snippets of information. They're really random. I don't know how to describe it. A man should swallow a toad every morning to make sure of not meeting with anything more disgusting in the day ahead. Chamfort. That's interesting. Okay, so I feel like this swallowing of a toad, that's so interesting because I didn't even say, but after I picked up the panther and the dragon, the frog was next. This is like rejuvenation. This is reviving and nourishing your energy. So to swallow a toad I think, is to swallow your fear. Like, accept your fears, accept that it's possible, and know that you can make it through it. You know what I mean? Know that even if the worst comes to worst, you'll still be here and you'll still be able to find a way. And if you accept those things and feel okay with that, even if it does happen, then it says, like, not meeting with anything more disgusting in the day ahead. If you get that out of the way, then you really don't have to worry about what's to come. If you get that fear aspect out of the way, you're like, well, if that happens, what if I do this? What if I do that? Don't overthink, but really know that in any scenario, in any case, you'll be all right. You'll make it through it. I want to get one more. Oh, 2 more, I guess. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Seneca. Yeah. Life is a beautiful tragedy at times. The whole of it calls for tears, even joyful tears. You only get one life. So really decide who it is you want to be and how you want to live and the experience that you want to have. You can spend your life crying over what you've lost, or you can spend your life crying over all of the beauty that you've experienced and cry tears of joy for the blessing of a life that you're living. Okay, so this one really has me thinking about your fear of being seen, or your fear of being seen as your truest self. We're all mad. A standard question on any initial dinner date should simply be, in what particular ways are you crazy? And I don't really like the word crazy, so instead of crazy, we're going to say, what are we going to say? Nonsensical. In what particular ways are you nonsensical? And that can be such a charming character. We're all a little bit mad. We're all a little bit awkward. We're all a little bit funny and odd. And it's okay to own those things about yourself. Be that, because no one else gets to do it but you. We're so happy to have you here and be your silly, goofy self. Do it. I freaking dare you. Do it. I love you. Okay, let's get a Steven Universe Major Arcana Tarot card. See what Major Arcana card you're most embodying right now. What Major Arcana card is... So I just got 4 that flew out. I got Death, the Star, the Lovers, and the Fool in reverse. Yeah, so you've been through this cycle of rebirth. You're in the process of rebirthing yourself. And it's so funny because the Star comes right after Death, which is rejuvenation. And this one especially, because this is, I believe this is Sugilite, really makes me think about this dragon energy, about taking back your power. So after going through and ending a closing out of a cycle and a rebirth energy, you're rejuvenating and reviving your inner light, your inner fire. And then the Lovers is talking about alignment with self, is talking about merging your divine masculine and divine feminine selves. And no matter how you identify, what your gender identity is, or what pronouns you go by, everyone comes from an X and a Y chromosome. So we hold those 2 polar energies and we get to decide where we sit on those, the line between those polarities. So when you're in alignment, you're holding those polarities of where you sit, and you're fully accepting and integrating those parts of yourself, those qualities in yourself. But the next step that you have yet to make is taking a leap of faith in yourself and reviving your childlike sense of wonder, allowing yourself to be joyful, allowing yourself to be silly, allowing yourself to trust in the universe that it has your back and that it's going to carry you when you just have faith and hope and trust. Let me get, actually we're going to go for a card from the Prophet Oracle deck and see what kind of wisdom you need to remember right now. Ooh. To you, the earth yields her fruit. 16, buying and selling. Oh. To you, the earth yields her fruit, buying and selling. To you, the earth yields her fruit, and you shall not want if you but know how to fill your hands. It is in exchanging the gifts of the earth that you shall find abundance and be satisfied. Yet unless the exchange be in love and kindly justice, it will but lead some to greed and others to hunger. Yeah, the universe wants to offer everything that you need, but you just need to know how to receive that. You need to know how to open your hands and open your heart. And the exchange of that needs to be in loving gratitude. In order to receive loving abundance, you need to open your hands in graciousness and gratitude and be like, wow, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so glad I get to have this beautiful, wonderful, joyful experience. Thank you so much, the universe. Hi, pile number 1. I think part of your video got cut out at the end. Luckily, I was recording on my phone just for a backup. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut to whatever you missed now. Okay, let's get you some affirmation cards before I send you on your way. Dropped right out. I am attraction. Hell yeah. 27. Like a magnet, what I put out into the world, I get back. If I lead with negativity, I receive negativity. If I lead with positivity, I receive positivity. Therefore, I choose to lead with positivity. I am attraction. Yeah, I feel like this is bringing it full circle. I think I remember at the beginning of your reading, I said, you might be afraid of people offering you judgment or criticism in your interactions, but you're not going to receive that energy unless you walk into the room with those fears. So in order to receive your true heart's desires, you need to become your true heart's desires and realize that you are the attraction for those things. Yeah, really look into the law of attraction if you haven't before, or try to focus your intentions more on bringing joy back into your life. That's really what you need to remember right now, is that you are attraction. You're not your thoughts, but you are attraction. And the beliefs that you hold really build the structure of the world that you experience. So remember that you're worthy of joy. You're worthy of freedom. You're worthy of alignment. You have alignment. You just need to remember that with that brings the gift of freedom. You're free. You're allowed to be free. Remember your power. Remember. Yeah. Remember who you are and allow yourself the gift of that being. Thank you so much, pile number 1 with the rose quartz. If you chose another pile, go ahead and click on that link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Peace and love from the stars above. Much love from me, Dream Witch, Marissa Renee. See you next time. Okay, if you chose pile number 2 with the Himalayan Celestial Quartz, this is your reading. going to go ahead and start off with the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Guidebook. And we're asking the question today, what is it that you've forgotten about yourself that you need to remember? Right away we had one fly out with the octopus in reverse. Get 2 more. Pile number 2, please. Right away I'm kind of feeling that you have this innate sense of clarity and vision. Just some activation in my third eye upon starting your reading. Okay, one more card, please. And we have the crocodile and the scorpion. And then underneath we have the cobra in reverse. I'm kind of feeling like you might be someone who's really hard on themselves. But let's see what the cards have to say. I'm going to go ahead and read from the book. These have really beautiful descriptions. And I really would love to give you the experience of hearing directly from the book. The octopus. Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind. I love that, especially since I felt like that activation in the third eye. You are perceptive, paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. When in balance, you're interested, engaged, and intelligent. When out of balance, you're needy, clingy, and lack courage. To bring into balance, you need space to yourself and talk therapy. So this might be you or this might be someone around you. But I'm getting the feeling this might be you. Let's see what the crocodile adds to that message. Resting, submerging, collecting energy, cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. When in balance, you're wise, patient, and a silent powerhouse. When out of balance, you feel stuck and lash out. To bring into balance, rest. Makarasana pose. I guess that's a yoga pose, probably. I'm not sure. You'd have to look that up. But it's spelled M-A-K-A-R-A-S-A-N-A. Yeah, so I feel like your energy might have been all over the place, but you've been resisting resting and slowing down. You've been resisting stepping back because both the crocodile and the octopus are in reverse. So you're kind of in those out of balance state of being, where you feel like reaching out in the comfort of being around others will bring you peace when really it's bringing you chaos. And what you truly need is to step back and calm your inner world. I'm being drawn to the mantra of wait. yeah, I think that the relationships and the situations that are meant for you will come and find you. You don't have to always be the one to make the first move. You don't always have to be reaching out. The people who truly want to be around you and the people who want to enter your life will make an effort and put intention into spending time with you. So you don't have to worry about that. Just take some time for yourself because you deserve it. Because you deserve to feel peace. You deserve to feel calm. You deserve... So the Scorpion here is saying passionate, competitive, and tends towards isolation. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. The career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers, and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When in balance, you're wild and free and fierce. When out of balance, you're jealous, resentful, and unresolved. To bring into balance, honesty and forgiveness are required. Yeah, I feel like you might be feeling some FOMO. You're like afraid of missing out. Or you're afraid of losing touch with your friends if you step back, especially if you've had conflicts in the past or recent past. You're afraid that if you stop reaching out that the connection will die. But that shouldn't be your main focus of worry. Your main focus of worry should be the fact that you need to find balance in your life. That you need to bring some stability in so you can have a calm and a peace and a passion that comes from within you, excuse me, that you don't have to seek outside of yourself for fulfillment is the main message that I'm getting. And then the Cobra in reverse. And then underneath the Cobra is the Sea Serpent. So yeah, I think this has to do with some kind of karmic pattern that you've been living out. Let's see what these two cards have to say. The Cobra. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When in balance, you're a student of life, humble and wise. When out of balance, you're a know-it-all, egocentric. To bring into balance, taking a class or study. Yeah, I really feel like with this, you've been stuck in your head on past events. Maybe you know that you crossed boundaries or that you pushed too hard on your desire to be close to your friends or your family or somewhere in your relationships. And so you're like circling on these thoughts and not allowing yourself a true state of rest. But when you come to a true state of rest, you're able to become empty so that you can be filled with new energy again. And that's that inner teacher energy of, I think internally you know you need to slow down, but it's been really, really hard for you to move out of that cycle. Let's see how the Sea Serpent adds to that as an underlying message. The Sea Serpent. Healing emotional wounds. Expressing desires. The Sea Serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. The sea serpent and the second chakra. The subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the Svadhisthana chakra. Located deep within the pelvic bowl, this chakra is known as our center of creativity and desire, and it is associated with the water element. Svadhisthana translates to as in her own abode, indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother, or Kundalini herself. Yeah, I really feel like you're coming out of these karmic cycles of repressing the things that make you really happy, that bring you a lot of joy, but that joy doesn't come externally. That joy doesn't come from anyone else but you. Let's get some of these tarot cards and get some more information about your situation and what you've been going through. Got the Five of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, lots of mental energy, lots of anguish. And the Two of Staffs. Yeah, you've been through a hard time, but you have new opportunities on the horizon. And then underneath we have the Four of Cups, which means you're kind of stuck in this state of indecision. You see the choice that you need to make, but you have yet to take it. You're not really sure what you want yet. You're still going through kind of an internal journey. So with the Five of Swords in reverse, I think you're really walking away from situations that no longer serve you, or that has come to an ending on its own. And with the Eight of Swords, you feel like you're trapped. You feel like you're stuck in this mental anguish, and you want to hide from that. But when you stop hiding, you can realize that you're not actually stuck. You can walk away anytime you want to. And you can start something new. You have new opportunities on the horizon. You have the opportunity to become a new version of yourself. You just have to decide that that's what you want. Let's go for one of these calm cards. So we got two that came out. Each personal strength, sensitivity, work ethic, candor, playfulness inevitably makes us weak too. We have to bear with our own and others' flaws, because to eradicate them would likely mean losing virtues too. Yeah, you have to accept your flaws in order to accept all of yourself. In order to accept the good parts about yourself, you have to be aware that we're all imperfect people, you included. And it's okay to honor and to own that. You've made the mistakes that you've made so that you can learn and grow from them. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. Sit alone in the kitchen and try to imagine what our planet looks like from the perspective of the star Deneb, located in the constellation of Cygnus, 1,500 light years away from Earth. yeah, remember that that is the reality, that we are sitting on a floating rock in space, given life from a distant star, and that we get to create our own reality, that we get to do what we want with that life that we're given. That there's less pressure about it when you look at it from such a far off perspective of we're just a little blue dot in someone else's eyes, light years away from us, that there's less pressure to be perfect in life. You can just be. You're allowed to just be. Okay, let's do one more. One more for pile number 2. Got 2. The people who will most care about you will not especially admire your achievements. They like you anyways. Yeah, so the people who are truly your friends don't care about the physical things that you do in your life. They just like you because they like you. And those are the kind of people that you need in your life. Be able to recognize when those kinds of wholesome people enter your life versus people who maybe only like you for the things that you have or the status that you hold or things like that, things of a physical nature, the way you look, anything like that. They're only looking surface level, but the people that really like you because of the person that you are and the personality that you have and all of the unique qualities that make you you, those are your true friends, and those are the people that you need in your life. It's okay to let go of everything else and all the other people that don't serve you anymore. Watch a small cloud detach itself from a larger bank of clouds. Follow its movements and mutations for 5 minutes. Notice every changing wisp and strand. Attune yourself to the pace of its progress across the sky. Yeah, allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to realize that life is always changing all around you and that you're allowed to change with it. It's okay to move out of old cycles and patterns. It's okay to change your mind. And to become a different version of yourself. An epidemic of loneliness has been generated by the misguided idea that romantic love is the only solution to loneliness. It isn't. Yeah, this is really bringing it back to you need self-love. You need to love yourself first before you can be in a truly balanced, loving relationship. Let's get one of these Steven Universe Major Arcana cards and see which Major Arcana you're most embodying right now. So we got the Star in reversed. So I think that right now you're lacking nourishment, but you're in the process of bringing that to yourself. That it's a decision that you have to make to nourish yourself and to take your power back and to know your worth. And you have to be the one to bring it into alignment, because only you can do that for yourself. Let's get one of these Prophet Oracle cards. And see what message it has to share on what you need to remember right now about yourself. Once you've forgotten about yourself. I really feel like you've forgotten your worth. You've forgotten what you're worthy of, the situations that you're worthy of. 10. Let there be in your heart a song for each cup. Eating and drinking. And in the autumn, when you gather the grapes of your vineyard for the winepress, say in your heart, I too am a vineyard, and my fruit shall be gathered for the winepress. And like new wine, I shall be kept in eternal vessels. And in winter, when you draw the wine, let there be in your heart a song for each cup. And let there be in the song a remembrance for the autumn days, and for the vineyard, and for the winepress. Yeah, remember all the things that it took to get you to the point of becoming something new. From turning grapes into wine is a process of transmutation. Maybe the things that have crushed you or let you down or really hurt you, you have to realize that those are the things that birth new things into your life. That's an ending that allows for a new creation, a new beginning. That the grapes that maybe you so fondly love have now become wine, and you're so sad and mournful over the fact that you've lost these grapes without realizing the fact that they're still there, that those things are still in you, they've just changed form, that those experiences are still in you, but that you have to have an appreciation for the fact of where it's brought you. That it's brought you to a better place. And in the winter, when you draw the wine, let there be in your heart a song for each cup. Yeah, for each new experience, let it be a unique enjoyment, a new present moment. Every time you remember, oh yeah, I'm a new person. Oh yeah, I get to do something different than what I'm used to. That's wonderful. Okay, let's get you a couple of affirmation cards before I send you on your way today. I am aware. It came out in reverse, so I feel like this is something that you really need to remember. Awareness. When I pay attention to my surroundings, I can feel appreciation for everything. I see so much beauty in the world. Being aware means living in the present and fully experiencing my life in the here and now. I am aware. Yeah. I think this is coming back to being aware when you cross boundaries and being aware when you have your boundaries crossed so that you can voice appropriately the truth of the situation. You need to come back to a state of awareness of self and of your surroundings. Let's get you one more affirmation card. Pile number 2. There we go. I am perceptive. My intuition is powerful. When I am unsure, my intuition is sure. I strengthen my intuition by trusting it and responding to its impulses. I am perceptive. Yeah, you really need to trust your gut when you know something isn't meant for you. I think that you've been staying in situations that don't serve you for too long, and then when it ends badly, you end up getting your heart broken, even though you knew from the beginning that it wasn't really working, it wasn't really serving you, but you wanted that connection, you wanted that feeling of being connected to others, but you sacrificed your self-worth for that. And when you come back to a state of awareness, you come back to a state of stillness, you're able to strengthen your perception, you're able to strengthen your self-worth when you have worth all by yourself. And remember to come back to that place of stillness so that you can be fully aware, fully in the moment, and fully yourself. Thank you so much, pile number 2. I'm so glad that you've been able to be here today. My name is Marissa Renee. Thank you for joining my YouTube series and for being a part of this collective reading. I'm so happy to have had you here today. I wish you best on your journey. Peace and love from the stars above. I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye. If you chose pile number 3 with the Celestial Phantom Amethyst, this is your reading. Welcome. So today we're asking the question, what is it that you've forgotten about yourself and what is it that you need to remember right now? So I'm going to start out with 3 cards from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. I've got the turtle in reverse. Got the swan. I only wanted 3 cards, but a bunch just came out. I'm trying to decide if they're for you. Shuffle again. If it needs to come out, I will. Ooh. And then we got the tarantula in reverse that jumped out. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the snake. So right away, I'm getting a feeling of transformation. There's something about you that's in the process of changing. Let's see what the turtle card has to say. Okay. Turtle. Ancient soul. Grounded. Trusting. At home in the self. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. Hi, pile number 3. Unfortunately, your video got a bit cut off. Luckily, I was taking a recording on my phone just for backup reasons, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to that video now so you don't miss any of your reading. Simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life. No matter where their travels lead them, turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us to close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. When in balance, you're peaceful, adventurous, and productive. When out of balance, you slow down to a halt. To bring into balance, go on an adventure. I really feel like you're a very wise person. I feel like you know how to be grounded, you know what brings you comfort and happiness, and you know what nourishes and feeds your soul. But right now I feel like you're in a state of stagnation a little bit. Not a lot, but I feel like you stagnated to a point where you're kind of afraid to take the next step in your journey. So let's see how the swan plays into that. Swan. Effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. When in balance, you have infinite creative power. When out of balance, you feel agitated, snippy, and lacking vision. To bring into balance, you need solo time and to spend time writing. I really feel like you might be a creative person, or that might be something that you do for your job. Freaking. Hi guys, sorry it cut out. I have a backup recording on my phone, so anything that you missed, I'll cut in there. But I was just reading the swan card for you. I was saying that I really think you're a creative individual. I think you have an inner vision that comes very naturally and easily for you. But I also feel like you've been overwhelmed lately with the things going on around you. Like you need to take a step back where you've needed to take a step back, that you've been wanting to take your time. But it's time to make moves again. It's time to start up your creative endeavors again. Let's see how the tarantula plays in. At a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose, or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find your true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance, you follow your intuition. When out of balance, you hesitate and over-intellectualize. To bring into balance, practice daily journaling. Yeah, so that's the second time it's brought up writing. I think you need to get perspective on your own mind. I think that you get really in your head and that you doubt your creative process or your creative capability. Maybe you doubt that people will understand your art. Maybe you doubt that your art will be valued or liked, or that people will be into it. But I think you're overthinking things. I think you're getting stuck in your head, and you need a change of pace in order to break out of that routine and really decide that, yes, I have a vision, yes, this is for me, and yes, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the snake. So that really tells me about building energy and kind of like having a purpose. Let's see what it has to say. So the snake, guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. When in balance, prosperous, creative, charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things. To bring into balance, Kundalini yoga and meditation. Yeah, I think you need to find a place of mental respite so that you can regain your creative spark and have more confidence in it. I really feel like you have messages that are meant to be shared in whatever creative pursuits that you have. So don't be afraid to share them. We're all more alike than we seem, so more likely than not, you're not going to be misunderstood. So underneath the snake, I noticed that the firefly card in reverse, which makes me think that you might be a lighthouse. You might be someone that inspires others with your creative pursuits and talents. Let's see. Firefly, inspired and fantastic yet fleeting. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? When in balance, you write, create, and brainstorm. When out of balance, you're burnt out and feel dull. To bring into balance, write a poem and draw. Write a poem. That sounds really nice. This is the third time that it's mentioned writing specifically. So you might be a creative writer. You might write short stories. Maybe you want to write a book about yourself. Maybe you've had a lot of really interesting experiences that you feel like are pretty unique, but you're afraid you're going to be misunderstood, so you're kind of scared to take the step to share that story. But remember that you're inspiring, and that the things that you have to share are fantastic. This was in reverse, so it's kind of like you're not fully embodying that inspired energy because there's part of you that's afraid. Let's get a little bit more information from the tarot cards. So can I get a little more information about what pile number 3 needs to remember? So we have the 6 of Staffs. Ooh, been going through a hard journey, I think. It feels like you've been working on something for a long time, and you're just like really waiting for it to come through, or you're waiting for your energy to come back. Yeah, so then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse that came out, and the 2 of Cups, and then on the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. So it really feels like you're recovering from some kind of heartbreak or loss. And with the 10 of Swords coming out under the Swan in reverse, this really, to me, feels like you're being released from something, finally, after a really long time. After being kind of like, it feels like you've been cocooning yourself. You've been insulating yourself and isolating yourself so that you can build your energy again. And then when you're finally to the point that you've built this energy, it's time to let go of all of those pent-up feelings, all of those things that you've been working on releasing. It's time to finally say goodbye to them. To finally say goodbye to this heartbreak. When I picked that up, the Empress card is underneath. Yeah, it's releasing heartbreak and remembering your worth, remembering your power, remembering your destiny, remembering your creative potential, and how much people love to witness you and love to witness the things that you create. My heart, that's so great. I love it. I love you guys. Wherever you are. That's so wonderful. And then the next card we have after the 10 of Swords is the 2 of Cups. So yeah, it's fulfillment. You're reaching this point of, I think it's like, it feels balanced, but it feels like you're not really working with anyone else. It's you and your creative inspiration that are coming back into a balanced relationship. It's you and the spark that are becoming balanced with one another. It's that cooperation between the artist and the art of you have a vision and you're the one to bring it to life, but at the same time, you can't overwork yourself. You can't push yourself too hard to make it happen. Otherwise, it's going to drain your energy. Be a lighthouse effortlessly, just for being yourself. You don't have to work too hard or be too perfectionistic. You're already good enough. You're already good enough. You are enough. Let's get a card from the Prophet Oracle deck about what it is that you're remembering right now and what it is that you might have forgotten about yourself. I think you've forgotten how easy it is for you to be creative. I think that it's something that comes very naturally to you, and for a while when you felt kind of like bogged down in your heavier emotions, maybe it was really hard for you to be creative. I feel called to share that's definitely something that I've dealt with when I was dealing with some of my more deep states of depression and anxiety. I could not draw, I could not paint, I could not do the things that made me the happiest in the world. Because I was in the process of recovering something from really heavy. And I think that you're coming out of something difficult or something that's held you down. And you're now remembering what it's like to be your truest creative self. Oh, 36, pleasure is a freedom song. Yeah, you're freeing yourself. Heck yeah, be free. I'm so happy to see it. Pleasure. It is a pleasure to be a creative soul. That's what you're remembering. Pleasure is a freedom song, and your body is the harp of your soul, and it is yours to bring forth the sweet music from it or confused, and it is yours to bring forth sweet music from it or confused sounds. And now you ask in your heart, how shall we distinguish that which is good in pleasure from that which is not good? Go to your fields and your gardens, and you shall learn that it is the pleasure of the bee to gather the honey of the flower. But it is also the pleasure of the flower to yield its honey to the bee. For to the bee a flower is a fountain of life, and to the flower a bee is a messenger of love. And to both bee and flower, I feel like I want to cry. I feel like this is making you emotional. It's okay to let it out. And to both bee and flower, the giving and the receiving of pleasure is a need and an ecstasy. Take a deep breath with me if you feel called. Yeah, I really feel like something has held you back from truly enjoying being a creative person, and that was so heartbreaking to you. What's so funny is that underneath the firefly card, I didn't even say this, but it was the bee. Yeah. Let's read what the bee has to say. Earnest, hardworking, democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and then sting. When in balance, content, active, vibrant. When out of balance, overworked and annoyed. To bring into balance, go on a mini vacation. Full circle. You guys are seriously an artist. Or what you do is an maybe non-traditional art form, or like not necessarily what people think of when they think of art, but it is a skill, it is a talent, it is an art. It does take passion and inspiration and hard work, and you love to bring life into it. That makes me so happy to hear for you guys. Yeah, it's time to release this heartbreak of the past, of feeling like you've lost touch with your creative self, and remember how much joy it brings you just to be free in your creative expression. That pleasure is a freedom song. But it is also the pleasure of the flower to yield its honey to the bee. Yeah, it is the pleasure of your inspiration to be given life through you. Only you have the vision, and only you can bring it to life. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I'm sure they'll think it's beautiful. I can just feel it. But it's meant to be brought into existence. Whatever it is, it's meant to be brought into existence by you and only you. And that sense of freedom and joy that you get from creating cannot be replaced with anything else. It's okay to slow down and recuperate if you've come into burnout, or if you've pushed yourself too hard in the past, put too much pressure on yourself, held yourself to too high of standards, had unrealistic expectations of yourself, as sometimes artists do. It's okay. It's okay. Just take a break from being hard on yourself. Go have some fun and reignite your joy so that you can reignite your passion and your inspiration. Living your best life and getting inspiration from the world that you live in is the best way to become inspired again to create art. I want to get one of these Steven Universe Major Arcana Tarot. Before I could even see what you were embodying right now, the Emperor popped out. Yeah, this is like, you have to know your worth. You have to, and you've realized that maybe you've yet to take full action on it, because it's a process and you're allowing it to flow into your life. There's an ease with it that I'm getting, but you've had this realization, you're cementing it in your mind. This is who I am. This is my worth. I am a creator, and there's no one or nothing that can talk me down from that. You are a creator. Maybe you've forgotten that for a while, but that's what you're remembering now. You are a creator. Ooh, this reading is so emotional. I really feel like it's stirring up some feelings in you. And it's okay. It's safe to feel those things. It's safe to express those things. You're allowed to mourn the fact that you lost touch with yourself for a time being. That's a really difficult thing to go through, losing yourself and losing the things that you love. Let's get a calm card to see what kind of perspective that brings. Ooh. Almost everyone is worried rather than mean. So maybe maybe you've experienced commentary from people in the past who you've allowed the privilege to witness your art, and it came off as their opinion came off as rude or mean, but maybe they just didn't know they didn't know how to accept the things that you see in the world. They didn't quite understand it. They didn't quite get it. And that comes from an internal anxiety. That comes from an internal imbalance within them that has nothing to do with you. And it probably wasn't for the purposes of being mean, but rather coming from a place of unawareness and ignorance. Everyone's going through something. Just don't let those things stick to you. Keep creating the things that you love to create. There are people out there that will love it too. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. This came up in one of the other readings too. This is from Seneca. And to me, this is talking about that life is so inexplicably beautiful and sometimes tragic, and there's beauty in that tragedy, and there's beauty in the wonder of life, and you can either spend your time crying over the heartache of life, or you can spend your time crying over how overcome with joy and inspiration and emotion that life has brought you into that state, that this joy can sometimes bring us to tears because it's so overwhelmingly beautiful. That the experience of life, or the experience of creating, or the experience of witnessing beauty in life can be so moving. And that's why the whole of it calls for tears, not just the heartache. Not just the heartache. Bring that passion back to your artwork. I want to get you a couple of affirmation cards. Ooh. Before we finish out the day, I am transformed. Just flew out. Just flew out. It was just ready. It was ready to pop. It was ready to go. Just like you. You're ready. Like, you are transformed. I see the beauty of change. Everything I have been through transformed me into who I am today. I am so much braver. I am so much more caring. I am so much more emotionally intelligent. I am so much more open. I will continue changing and improving. I am transformed. That's so wonderful. You've gone through this transformation of losing yourself and then finding yourself again and becoming back better even. I want to get one more. Remind yourself that you're transformed. You don't have to stay in the past anymore. You're allowed to be yourself again. Be the new version of yourself. Ooh! Girl! You got 22 and then you got 11. You are in alignment. You may not think that you are, but remembering the fact that you are in alignment is what will allow you to fully embody that. Hell yeah. I am focused. I am focused on achieving my goals through deliberate actions. I take time to feel how it would feel to achieve my dreams. I visualize my desires through a lens of love and happiness. I am focused. That makes me so freaking happy for you guys. Yeah. Now it's time for you to focus in on your creative endeavors. It's time for you to start visualizing what it is that you want to bring into the world, and allow yourself to feel how it would feel to bring that to life, to allow yourself to feel how it would feel to be loved for the things that you create. And then watch that come to pass in your life. Allow that to enter your life. Know that you're transformed, and then focus in on how that transformation is unfolding in your life. That's so wonderful, pile number 3. I'm so happy for all you creative people out there. thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy to have had you here. Thank you for visiting my page. Hope to see you next time. My name is Marissa Renee. I'm Dream Witch. Peace and love from the stars above. Blessings to you all. Bye.